So we say good morning and welcome to the national television service of the Liberia broadcasting system, and this is LMTV live from the Rabos International Airport, where the Liberian leader, His Excellency President U.S.A. Boakai, is expected to depart Liberia shortly for the United States of America to attend the 80th section of the United Nations General Assembly that is taking place in the United States of America at the UN headquarters in New York. And the president of the General Assembly, who is Germany's former foreign minister, Lena Baerbock, who was elected president on June 2, 2025, with a strong majority, approximately 89% of the total voters. And this year the UNGA team is the high level week will convene on the team Better Together, 80 years and more for peace, development, and human rights. And there are major events and agendas which will begin firstly with a high-level week from the 22nd of September to the 30th, 2025, a dynamic week of flagship events, including the 80th anniversary commemoration that will see a 1-hour statement by heads of state and the UN officials marking the UN's 80th year. There will also be general debate from the 23rd to the 27th of September, and including the 29th of September, where world leaders are slated to deliver their statements on pressing global challenges. Also, the Sustainable Development Goals, that's the SDG Media Zoom and Goals Launch, will also take place. That will be interactive platforms which will commence from the 22nd to the 26th of September, featuring storytelling panels and dialogues to drive the Sustainable Development Goals forward. A high-level thematic meetings will also take place from the 30th anniversary of the 4th World Conference on Women and the Beijing Platform for Action, recommitment to gender equity or gender equality, Also, there will be the fourth high-level meeting on non-communicable diseases, NCDs, and mental health, aiming to shape a new global vision, hosted by the World Health Organization on 25 September. The 30th anniversary of the World Program of Action for Youth Intergenerational Multi-Stakeholder Panels, scheduled for the 25th of September, will also take place there. There will also be the Global Goals Week from the 19th of September to the 28th, 2025, a sweeping series of events by civil society, business, academia, and the UN organizations to renew momentum for the SDGs, especially timely as the world passed the halfway mark toward the 2030 targets. And as we speak, any moment from now, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai will arrive here at the Rabos International Airport. But we are just giving you a synopsis about the UNGA. So the UN reform and strategic priorities on the UN 80th initiative launched in March 2025 by the UN Secretary General. This reform agenda is focused on boosting efficiency, relevance, and institutional strength of the UN. A supporting resolution was adopted by consensus in July. And also there will also be global challenges and debates, key priorities including institutional reform, digital governance, particularly AI, climate resilience, health preparedness, conflict de-escalation, and that will include the Ukraine, the Middle East, Africa, and financing for development. But at the 79th UNGA, we want to retrospect on the speech that was delivered by His Excellency So this was President Boakai's first address to the UN General Assembly, marking Liberia's peaceful back-to-back democratic transition. He reflected on the UN's mission and Liberia's role. So this should be the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, Colonel Gregory Como. But President Boakai revisited Liberia's legacy as an original United Nations signatory from 1945 and reflected on what are the ideals espoused in the UN Charter: dignity, social progress, freedom have truly been realized globally. And in his speech, he also affirmed Liberia's steadfast commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) and the National Liberia Rising Vision 2030 strategy. He also placed emphasis on Liberia's arrest development agenda. The president introduced the arrest agenda, focusing on agriculture, roads and infrastructure, rule of law, education, sanitation, health, and tourism, all along with SDG priorities. He also spoke about peace, justice, and regional stability. The president at the 79th UNGA also highlighted efforts toward justice and reconciliation, including the establishment of war and economic crimes courts via Executive Order 131. He also discussed the issue of Liberia's concern about regional instability, notably in West Africa, terrorism, political unrest, and its defense of ECOWAS unity were emphasized. And he also spoke on global conflicts, where he called for a ceasefire in the Middle East and a two-state solution, peaceful resolution in Ukraine, upholding its territorial integrity. The president at the 79th UNGA also called for institutional and philosophical UN reform. And President Boakai as well urged the UN to rethink its approach to global peace and security, confronting modern challenges such as climate change, social media, drug trafficking, and inequality. At the 79th UNGA, he also discussed Liberia's intent to join the UN Security Council 2026. He formally launched Liberia's candidacy for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council in 2026. But yeah, you have the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, Colonel Gregory Kuma, who just arrived here at the Lagos International Airport. For you just joining this broadcast, please be informed that President Nyuma is expected to depart the Lagos International Airport shortly for the United States of America to attend the 80th UNGA. And we've been giving you a summary of the president's speech when he attended the 79th UNGA, and that ceremony marked his first speech as president of the Republic of Liberia, delivered at the 79th UNGA in the United States of America. Yes, so back to the president's speech at the 79th UNGA. President Nyuma place emphasis on multilateralism and shared future, ending with a resounding affirmation of multilateralism. He stated, "One UN, one war." So at the Summit of the Future, which took place on September 22, 2024, President Boakai urged global action to address looming threats to SDGs, highlighting inequality, the human development gap, and the need for financial system reform. He also called for enhanced liquidity for developing nations and collective measures to accelerate progress. President Boakai also spoke about Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, and that's the GEAPP meeting, where he championed energy access as a human right, praising efforts aimed at electrifying Africa, particularly Liberia's and the continent's push toward a green, inclusive energy transition. And he also highlighted Liberia's peaceful handover of power and first addressed by the presidency of Liberia. So yes, folks, wherever you are watching from, we say thanks for joining us. And my name is Nyuma, live from the Rivers International Airport, where the Liberian leader, His Excellency President Nyuma will shortly depart the Rivers International Airport for the United States of America to attend the 80th UNGA which will be taking place at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. So we are awaiting the president, who is somewhere around the RIA, and will bring you his departure ceremony. So wherever you are and however you are watching, we say thanks for joining us here from the Rivers International Airport, where President Nyuma is to shortly depart the Rivers International Airport for the 80th United Nations General Assembly. Taking place at the headquarters of the UNGA in New York, the United States of America. So this is coming along just a day after the president nominated a new Minister of State. Honorable Steve Tikwa. So why some of you were offline, or if you are not in the know that since the passing of the late Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Sylvester Crispy, President U.S.A. Boakai yesterday announced the nomination of a new Minister of State for Presidential Affairs following the demise of Honorable Sylvester M. Grisme. And yesterday, Honorable Samuel A. Stikwa was nominated to serve as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. According to the executive mansion, this critical appointment highlights the President's commitment to ensuring dynamic, effective, and principled leadership at the highest levels of government. The nomination, which is subject to confirmation by the Honorable Liberian Senate, marks a significant milestone in the ongoing efforts to strengthen governance, ensure continuity, and promote a culture of service, accountability, and national unity. Pending the conclusion of the Senate's constitutional recess, Honorable Steve Tikwa has been authorized to act in this capacity, ensuring continuity and stability in the management of presidential affairs. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs is a central figure in the executive branch, acting as the primary coordinator of the President's agenda, overseeing the effective administration of the office of the President, and serving as a vital link between the presidency and other arms of government. The role demands dedication, professionalism, sound judgment, and unwavering loyalty to the Republic of Liberia. as the main steward of the presidential office. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs is charged with coordinating the day-to-day operations of the presidency, advising the president on matters of national importance and policy implementation, ensuring seamless communication between the office of the president and other ministries and agencies, overseeing the preparation and execution of presidential engagement, both national and international, fostering a culture of integrity, efficiency, and public service within the executive branch, representing the president in key intergovernmental and diplomatic forums as designated. So in his official communication addressed to Honorable Steve Tikwa, President Boakai expressed strong confidence in the nominee's ability to uphold the values and fulfill the duties of the office with distinction. The President emphasized the importance of integrity, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to the Republic, stating, "It is my firm expectation that you will discharge the duties of this high office with dedication, professionalism, and loyalty to the Republic." Yeah, so folks, these are vehicles in the presidential convoy. So I can already see the presidential convoy gradually arriving. So like we told you, President U.S.A. is to shortly depart the Ravos International Airport to attend the 80th United Nations General Assembly in Washington, D.C., New York City. That is so I see the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police and the Minister of State with our portfolio, Madam Boakai was here as well, and also Inspector General of Police, Honorable
Liberia has a history a founding member of the United Nations, and also
so
Liberia sits on the Security Council. It's just voted. We also have the arrival of the newly appointed
So here comes the newly appointed Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Samuel Stipwa, and he will greet the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police. So see the Labor Minister. So President U.S.A. Boakai has disembarked. His vehicle
His Excellency.
Resources Minister, Councillor Oxford, and we'll see if we can attempt to speak with the Honorable Anthony Kessler. So you already have members of the armed forces of Liberia stationed outside there. But yes, folks, we are live from the Rabos International Airport, where His Excellency President Nyuma Boakai will shortly depart the Rabos International Airport for the United States of America to attend the ATF UNGA in New York City. We have the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police here, Justice Minister, Councillor Oxford, and the newly nominated Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Samuel Steve Kwak, is also here as well. Just to bring you up to speed with the president's speech when he attended the 79th UNGA, some of the issues that was key on his or during his deliberation. And this was the President's first speech at the UNGA, where the President had a reflection on the UN's mission and Liberia's role. He also revisited Liberia's legacy as an original United Nations signatory from 1945 and reflected on whether the abuse exposed in the UN chapter, dignity, social progress, freedom, have truly been realized globally. He affirmed Liberia's steadfast commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and the National Liberia Rising Vision 2030 strategy. He also spoke of Liberia's arrest development agenda, where he introduced the arrest agenda focusing on agriculture, roads, infrastructure, rule of law, education, sanitation, health, and tourism, all aligned with SDG priorities. President Boakai spoke as well of peace, justice, and regional stability. He highlighted efforts toward justice and reconciliation, including the establishment of war and economic crimes courts via Executive Order 131. He also spoke of Liberia's concern when it comes to regional instability, notably in West Africa. He spoke of political unrest and his defense of ECOWAS unity were emphasized as well. The president called for ceasefire in the Middle East and a two-state solution, peaceful resolution in Ukraine, upholding its territorial integrity. President Boakai then called for institutional and philosophical UN reform when he spoke at the 79th UNGA. Also at the 79th UNGA, President Boakai urged the UN to rethink its approach to global peace and security, confronting modern challenges such as climate change, social media, drug trafficking, and inequality. At the 79th UNGA, President Boakai expressed Liberia's intent to join the UN Security Council 2026, where he formally launched Liberia's candidacy for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council in 2026, pledging to collaborate globally in the pursuit of peace and justice. And that candidacy that the president expressed at the 79th UNGA came to reality after Liberia was overwhelmingly elected to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. So yes, folks, President Boakai is now making his way
Open.
So we are taking some exercise this morning. The president is going to fly a commercial flight, ASCA. So we're waiting, His Excellency.
Sanity of the airport and security of the airport would have to stop somewhere around here. But the security is okay to the president would depart by ASCA.
So folks, the president will depart via Ascot airline. In this place, we cannot go beyond this point. So we attempt to go on the outside of so is the 80th UNGA taking place in New York City at the United Nations headquarters, where heads of state are converging. No, but no. I bet you don't do it. So this is Ascar Airline. And it's raining here, folks. It's raining at the Rivals International Airport here. So any moment from now, President Nyuma Boakai will depart the Rivals International Airport to attend the 80th UN General Assembly. In the United States of America. So we can tell you as to who are those forming part of the president's delegation, or the total number of persons traveling along with the president. maybe that information will be released subsequently by the executive mansion. Ella. On a rainy day in a vacation city at the Bravos International Airport, where the Liberian leader, His Excellency President Nyuma Boakai, is to shortly, in few minutes, depart via the Bravos International Airport. It will be departing Liberia via the Bravos International Airport to the United States of America to attend the 80th UN General Assembly in New York City. This is not a private jet for some of you in the comment section. This is not a private jet. This is a commercial flight where you have other passengers on board. This is why you are seeing the flight coming from this direction of the terminal. And this is Oscar Airline. The first time the president attended the UNGA was at his 79th assembly. That was when he was elected as president of the Republic of Liberia. At the 79th Assembly, President Boakai launched Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN General Assembly. And that bid, launched by the President, came to reality. After Liberia got elected as a non-permanent member. So we are making our way to the VIP lodge. And the plane is getting on the runway. It's up, and it's up in the sky. Well, folks, thanks for watching. My name is Nyuma. Do have yourself a pleasant morning from the Rivers International Airport here in Unification City of Magibi County.